Welcome. Let me share a simple example of why my training method is so darn effective and why my satisfied students are actually out there making real money working for huge companies, working from home, working any place they choose because they have the advantage. They basically think the way the software thinks. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, software is a language like any other language. If I'm going to teach you French or German or Spanish, I need to teach you the syntax, the verbs, the adjectives, etc., etc. Once you understand that basic foundation, then you can construct lucid, intelligent questions or sentences or paragraphs. Until that point, you're going to be floundering. Unlike other teachers who say, oh, under the file menu we do this, and then under the edit menu, that's taking out of context. So I want to share with you a very profound and simple technique for something you probably already know, but you never thought about it. So I involve you in a thinking process no matter what software I teach, whether it's Illustrator, Photoshop, WordPress, After Effects, 3D Studio Max, Final Cut Pro. Those are all courses that I teach. So let me explain a very simple concept of anything on the computer is a file. Anything about the file, of course, is under the File menu, based on three very important words. This type of thinking will get you through any software dilemma, whether it's WordPerfect, who uses that? Microsoft Word, any software program can be approached this way. So let me share with you my simple technique, and I apply this to all the things that I teach. So again, everything on the computer is a file. More specifically, a file could be a folder, like you see 3 folders here, create, select, edit. A file can be an application. Applications create documents. As an example, a Photoshop document would create application would create a Photoshop document. An Illustrator application would create an Illustrator document. So just think about this very intuitively. Create, select, edit. What do I mean by that? Well, in order to affect something, you need to select something. Everything you see right here is a file. So let's understand something. Again, I want to share the concept of what makes my training so different and easier to comprehend and absorb the method. So right now, anything about a file is out of the File menu. So if I go to the File menu, look at what I can do, but look at what I can't do. I can't open a file, I can't print a file, I can't duplicate a file, I can't show information on a file, I can't even trash a file. Why? Because I broke the rule of create, select, edit. I see that files have been created, however I didn't select anything. Now, on the desktop, whether it's Windows or Mac, I can select either with my mouse or with the S for select, or C for create, or E for edit. So that's just an operating system thing. So if I select something, so I'm going to select the S for S key to select the select folder. So therefore I can do something to the folder because it was affected. In order to affect something, I need to select something. So let's understand something. If I'm in Adobe Illustrator as an example, Illustrator is a vector-based program. Now in Illustrator, there's no menu that says vector because vectors are objects, but there is an object menu. So therefore, anything about the object is under the object menu. If I'm in Photoshop, Photoshop is an image-based program. Anything about the image is under the image menu, and then based on those choices, what do you want to do? Because software simply comes down to choice based on what you select, but it has to be created. So that type of thinking process probably makes total sense to us, but we don't think about what we do. We just kind of do things. So my proven technique will get you up and running in a very simplistic way to understand how that software thinks. That's why I named my company Think, Learn, Earn. I want you to think about what you're doing so you can learn the software effectively so you can go out there and earn some money. Because what's the point of learning software if you don't have a marketable skill set? And by the way, speaking of marketable skill sets, I no longer teach QuickExpress, I no longer teach WordPerfect, I no longer teach Flash. Those are not marketable skills. So you can be rest assured no matter what you learn from me, it's the most up-to-date marketable skill set known. So hopefully this is a very simple exercise in understanding in order to affect, I need to select. But it has to be created in order to select it, in order to do something with it. So edit is a very generic program, or a very generic concept. Edit, what do you want to do to it? okay? You want to draw, you want to trash it, you want to move it, you want to clone it, etc., etc. Thank you for being here. I share these same techniques, and that's what makes my training so different, and that's what makes my students so very competitive, because they think the way the software thinks. They can outthink the competition. Talk to you soon. Please take advantage of my Think, Learn, Earn training method and learn WordPress and web design for Adobe right from your WordPress dashboard. Thank you.